home to an empty house. Get your priorities in order. Start with self. When that verse says, love thy neighbor as thyself, it means you have to love yourself first, people. Look at the English. Love thy neighbor as thyself, which means you have to love yourself first. It's not a crime. I promise you. These two commandments, if followed, will lead you and those around you to live a life of love and abundance, and therefore yield successful, healthy communities. Remember, your community is dying because you are dying. Your community is in pain because you are in pain. Our communities are suffering because we're suffering individually. And when we take responsibility for that, everything else will fall into place. Ain't nothing to say in the Bible. Don't worry about all these commandments. You know, I made it a little difficult in the beginning. I'm just going to erase all of that. Don't worry about none of that. I'll make it real simple, y'all. Love!
All right.
That's it. Just love. So, as I began to teach that, I'll bring it into life terms. So now we've talked about it as a full umbrella of an idea, concept, the words, the meaning, the definition. Okay, so then I will apply it to my own life, to myself. Okay? How do I love? Who, what, when, where, how? And who am I? I used to be a school teacher. I love people. I also was doing some nursing at one point. I worked in the geriatric field. I love life. I'm always doing things in my community. I'm also a community advocate and travel the world with this crusade of togetherness and love. And it's been my life path. And my friends and family said, hey, you're doing this all the time. What if you're not paying your bills? Like, philanthropists and people like that, we get in a lot of trouble. Like this, say, you start paying, doing this, and then next thing you know, you haven't paid your mortgage. You haven't done this, you haven't done that. Because you're not taking care of self. So I was giving so much to my community and to children, and I began to be ill. And I said, whoa, what am I doing wrong? And I had to stop and look at myself and start taking care of myself. And when I began to do that, I realized I was able to do more for my community, more for my family, and in a more righteous way, with a better attitude, with a better disposition, confidence about myself. And I said, wow, okay, I thought, because we're taught that that's kind of selfish, We're taught we're not supposed to be self-centered. If we do too much for ourselves, it's egotistical or selfish. So we were taught, especially as Christians growing up, at least I was, that it's better to give than to receive. So sometimes growing up, we don't understand or overstand exactly what that means, and that we'll take it too far. And we'll be so self-sacrificing that we will literally forget about ourselves. Literally. That's where we got to stop. And once you tap in and say, okay, I'm going to start taking care of myself, all of your talents and skills will start to show. You'll start to see, oh, I like this, or I don't like this. Oh, I'm good at this, or I'm not good at that. Once you tap in, then you take those skills, and that's what you bless people with. That's why it doesn't look like a job. It just comes natural. Because once you start loving yourself, whatever it is inside that God blessed you with, whatever skill, maybe you know how to make the best lemonade this side of Mississippi. You need to be bottling that lemonade and selling it, and you can make a living for your family. And everybody in the community, make them so happy because this man on our block got this famous lemonade in the grocery stores. I know that man, he's my neighbor. His lemonade is in Winn-Dixie. To you! I say a job is a joyless occupational bondage. Jumping out of bed just over broke. Jumping out of bed still asleep. I'm not here to point the finger, but I'm here to tell you there's something greater. There's something greater than a job. And it's called you. You have a purpose, have have a vision. Don't give up on it. That is what's going to change our community. When you start remembering the dreams that you had as a child, the things you wanted to do when you were a little kid, when you thought the world was yours. It's still yours!
All right.
You know that genie in the bottle? They say you rub it and you can ask 3 questions and then you're going to get your wish. Well, guess what? They lie. You know what the lie is? The lie is that you don't just get 3 wishes. It's endless! Ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So when I started building and doing my business with my foundation, the gates of heaven just opened. We were recently granted 1,000 acres of undeveloped land in Ghana to build a repatriation community. We will change the map of a whole other country just because I decided to love. We talk about community. Each and every last one of you, by 2-3 years from now, can have a vacation home on my land in Ghana. A retirement home, a second home. We are bridging the gap between blacks worldwide. That's what community is. Because the problems that we have, believe it or not, somebody have the answer to them.
All right.
The problems that they have, believe it or not, just you, not the U.S. government, you might be the only one that has the answer to that problem. You might have been sitting up thinking at night, something just came in your head. You're like, why am I thinking that? But later on, you meet someone, and you'll say, this message was for you. It wasn't for me. It was for you. Because we're all connected. And when you start tapping into yourself, you will see yourself as a connection of the next person. How you can help them. That's community. Living your life just free. Easy. It's not hard. God has given you everything you need. The only thing that you have to do is step out and faith. That's what Dr. King said. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the next step. Just take the next step. Love and unity is the source of all power. Teamwork makes the dream work. Is that true? Right? Together, everyone accomplishes more. Is that not also true? We've heard these things, but we don't understand. So the moment that you start to think you're not important, imagine being in a room locked up at night with one mosquito. One mosquito is in your room at night, closed window, you cannot sleep. This one little mosquito. You will get up, turn on the light, you will find this mosquito. So if you think you are too small to make a difference, think again. Think of that little mosquito, that one mosquito in the room, bugging you and you can't sleep. Think about all your body parts and the functions. What would you be able to do if just one hand was gone? One finger, one eye, your nose, one toe, and one knee. Just imagine if something wasn't there. It's all relevant, right? It's all part of the big picture. So recognize that. And that's all literally you have to do. So my message to you today is fly. First, love yourself. And when you learn to fly, first love yourself. Your communities, all of them. Your body community, your church community, your country, your state, your town, will be a reflection of that beauty, a reflection of that love. Because your love will overflow. And abundance is abundance. We serve a God of abundance. We serve a God of multitude. One apple has how many seeds? And when it touches the ground and someone loves it, the sun loves on it, the rain loves on it, someone might water it a little bit or put it in the shade. A little bit of love is all it takes. It will grow. From one seed, how many apples do you have? And again, and again, and again. So don't buy into this idea of scarcity we don't have, that we're all broke and we're all without. Tap into this abundance. It's your inheritance. It's your birthright. It's here for you. But it requires one payment. And that payment is love.